passing of a hero. At the age of 81, on Saturday, August 25th, 2018, just a few days shy of his birthday, his 82nd birthday, John McCain, Senator of Arizona, died after a long suffering of glioblastoma, one of the most aggressive brain tumor who usually take the lives of its victim. Throughout this ordeal, John McCain stayed pretty much involved in politics. From time to time, he issued a statement as if to help the country get back on track, steer the country in the right direction. His last public statement had to do with Donald Trump's performance in Helsinki, Finland. A disgrace to the whole country. John McCain is not a hero because he was captured. He's not a hero because he served in the armed forces. We have hundreds of thousands of others who served. But just to serve in the armed forces does not make one a hero. You are certainly a veteran after you leave, but one is not qualified as a hero just for the sake of serving in the armed forces. John McCain is recognized as a hero because of what he stands for, because of his action. A hero is someone who has performed an extraordinary act, who has gone above and beyond the call of duty. Someone who sacrificed his or her own life to save others. And that's what John McCain did. In Vietnam, the story is well known in the circle of people who serve with John McCain, but also people who are in the armed forces. When his plane was shot down and he was captured, John McCain could have gotten out of Vietnam without any problem. His father was an admiral in the army who could have worked out a deal and got him out. But John McCain refused to leave behind those he served with, those who were also captured. Most human beings are very much inclined to run away from danger. Most human beings are very much inclined to save their own skins. Most human beings would not refuse the opportunity to get the hell out of a war zone when it was possible to leave, to walk away. John McCain was well aware of all those who went before him who got killed. And he was well aware that his decision to stay behind could seal his fate, including his own death. But John McCain chose to stay behind, even if it is as a moral comfort for those who were also captured, who did not have a father who could work out a deal for them. John McCain decided to stay behind, to be with them, get tortured with them, and would have probably been killed along with those who never made it back home. John McCain was not a selfish individual. He understood the human fragility. He understood a higher call of duty. Many at that time were against the war in Vietnam, and John McCain was well aware of that. There were protests here in the United States on the streets against the government putting our young men in harm's way. In Washington, our government couldn't give a straight answer as to what we were doing in Vietnam, why we were having our young men being killed, captured, tortured. Enough reason for anyone who is provided a way out to live. Enough reason for anyone who has the opportunity to escape to do so. And John McCain had that opportunity. He refused. For those today who want to side with the President of the United States, who has displayed the worst of humankind, the worst petty behavior at a time when the nation would have looked up to the individual sitting in the Oval Office to honor a true hero, but instead chose to be petty, to display hatred, resentment towards a man who had not only suffered in the worst way possible, but now is gone. What kind of human being, let alone a president, who would continue to disparage someone who has not only served honorably, courageously, the United States of America, first as a soldier, later as a senator, for that president to leave every personal emotion behind to honor that individual. Yes, John McCain is a hero. He is a true hero, a hero in the strictest sense of the word. How many times have we used the word for very petty things to diminish its importance? Everybody who does anything normal with ordinary, we call those individuals hero. John McCain has done extraordinary things for the country. That doesn't mean John McCain is out without faults. He's the first one to acknowledge he's not a saint. He mentioned it several times in his biography. In his documentary, he talked about that. John McCain was well aware of his weaknesses, his faults. But John McCain was different because not only he recognized as a human being, he had faults and plenty of them, but he had something that we yearn for today in a leader: to recognize not only they have a need for others, but to recognize humility is necessary in a great leader. John McCain was not one to brag about himself. John McCain was one to be humble, someone who put his country first, someone who recognized there is something much greater than John McCain. The country that he almost died for, the country he fought for, the country he was tortured for. How many times have we yearned for someone like John McCain? Today, the state of the country makes it even more so that we need another John McCain. We need another individual who can put everything about himself or herself behind and put the country first. John McCain is not a hero because he was captured. People all the way in Vietnam laid flowers in memory of John McCain. How ironic is that? The country that he went to war with to kill its citizens, its soldiers, from command of our government, that country today recognizes that John McCain is a hero. Here in the United States, individuals who didn't even know anything about John McCain, individuals who simply hear about John McCain from Donald Trump, someone who hates John McCain, someone who resents John McCain. They simply hear from one of the worst of mankind about John McCain, and they take a position against a war hero, a true patriot. John McCain understands what it's like to fight for the country, what it's like to fight for freedom. John McCain was a Republican, a proud Republican, with most of the same values that the Republican Party used to embrace. Today, unfortunately, not only did we lose an American hero, but we lose a man of great character. We also lost a man who could have helped steer the country in the right direction. We lost a man who could have opened the eyes of those who are still in the dark, who still do not value the freedom that we have enjoyed for 2 centuries. John McCain was not just a senator. John McCain is a hero we will mourn for a very long time to come. So long, John. So long. We'll be right back.
I've been tested on a number of occasions. I haven't always done the right thing, but you will never talk to anyone that is as fortunate as John McCain.
Good morning. How are you, my friend from TMZ?
If you want to really know him, his favorite book is For Whom the Bell Tolls. The protagonist in that goes to fight in a war that's a hopeless cause, and yet he gives his life for it.
A missile took the wing off the airplane. The Army came and they took me to a prison camp, and one of the interrogators, he said, "Things will be very bad for you now, McCain." I was always looking the next step down the road.
McCain was always willing to break the mold he was in if it was clearly the right thing to do. And that's an invaluable commodity.
I thought I was going to whip him. Of course, he thought he was going to whip me.
McCain has an authentic inner voice. Even when he compromises for political reasons, he knows he's compromising some piece of himself.
For John to say, we're all Americans, we're all on the same team, I thought was an indication of who John fundamentally was.
We need to give the American people what they deserve, and right now, they're not getting it.
The Arizona senator has been diagnosed with a brain tumor.
John, throughout his life, has been heroic. If he showed us how to live, he's also showing us how to die.
I stand here today looking a little worse for wear, I'm sure. We're getting nothing done.
The measure of the man is how he responds under adversity. And look at John.
I've had 60 years in service to this wondrous land, and I am so grateful.